Right, hey everybody. I'm here to review Kingdom Legacy. This was a game that was recommended to me by a friend in which uh, I'm very interested in video games in general. I'm a very competitive person, love card games, board games, but I never played single player adventure games before. And this was recommended as something that was a one time you burn through it, play through it, and burn through it. I'll put it up over here. I don't have a professional setup, but I wanted to show off the cards just to talk about my final round and talk about my experience playing this game. Uh, First off, I'll say it's excellent. I think it's pretty reasonably priced. The game is well designed. The idea of the game is that in which you build a kingdom, go on an adventure. There's an endpoint once you reach a certain card, and what ends up happening is you go off and just see what happens and develop a kingdom and deal with challenges when they arise, which is pretty nifty. Changes are permanent. Cards get stickers. Cards get destroyed. Some of it's bad luck. Some of it's good luck. Rules are fairly complicated from what I've noticed. So some of them are tough to follow along, but I've tried to play the game to the best of my knowledge and ability, understanding the rules that are available to me. So this is going to be a viewpoint for a person who is, familiar with the game. It's actually for someone specifically, but I just wanted to showcase and talk about, my adventure and experiences so far. I'll play through the final round, just talk out loud and think about some of the things that I've noticed as I played through it. I'll give my reactions live to it. Overall, excellent experience. There are some permanent cards. I'm not going to explain all the rules because I'm assuming that anyone who's watching this actually knows how to play the game, but I'll comment on my thoughts behind it. Permanent card, military dominance. This was the choice that I had for this one of the two sides. A lot of swords in the game, and I figured, hey, I'm a min maxer in general. When I'm a strategy player, I get concerned, I should say, with permanent changes and things. So what I wanted to do was to make sure that there was an opportunity here for me to choose at least one category I can just go in all in on. And as long as I have the stickers, it's a sticker game. So I figured, yeah, I'll just get a bunch of cards with swords on it, and this is going to get me some points for fame. Expanding borders. I also put a pretty high emphasis on the fact that I hate missing out on things. I guess that's part of the game, right? In this game, every person who plays it differently, they're going to be, uh, you know, uh, experiencing something different. That's charming. That's cool. I get it. I'm a fan of roguelike games, and in those games, every time you play, it's something different. Only issue with this is that being a card game that you destroy the cards, there's going to, of course, be the need to buy the whole thing again, which isn't expensive, but right, uh, essentially, it's not replayable past a certain point, right? Like the first 20 or so cards, you can reset from that point onward, but after that, you're kind of locked in. So I figured, okay, my priorities so far, I'm going to be building up swords, and I'm going to be just trying to discover as many cards as possible. So as I was going through the game and going through the deck, I put a pretty high emphasis on not upgrading some of the entry level cards, but trying to focus investment on cards that were developed and found later on in the game, figuring that their rewards were going to be better. Wherever I could prioritize getting to an endpoint that discovers cards or rips up a card to get a new one. That's what I went for. So I'm confident that I'm going to end up meeting that. The other thing was trade goods. So trade goods are a resource in this game that, unlike spending money, and I'll show this in other permanent cards, like spending money or depositing things, it doesn't end a turn. You can spend and invest, and I'll show that a little bit later on. And then the investments give you sticker upgrades. So my min max brain says, okay, yes, I don't lose a turn. They're going to be cards that are just for trade goods. I can just deposit these things. And if I get it, I'm definitely going to try to target getting at least eight. I'm pretty confident that I did. I don't think I'm going to max out on the relating card for it, where you trade things in for the export card. But I tried as close as I could. I'm currently at, and I'll show it in a little bit. I'm currently at 60, 70, 80, 82. 82, I need 100 for that to be completed, at least that one side. I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. So the next one, I have no clue what this does. I'll be honest. This is a card that I tried to maximize some of like the treasure hunting and the mining thing. I wanted to see like if I can get to something like this, but I don't know what it does. And it says it can't be destroyed. Fine, it's yet to be discovered. I drew the last two cards for the last round. It has no reference to an ether crystal, so I'm assuming that this is either for different card I just never got to discover, or this is for an expansion. Um, I think that's a pretty tough thing about this game too, right? Is direction wise, you have a general idea from a direction standpoint. If you're trying to max on fame and you're thinking about the cards from a fame perspective, right? The number 10 over there, but you really don't know which cards are going to lead to what results. So playing the game for the first time blind is pretty stressful in that regard. All right, so I'm going to move these off to the side because we're going to deal with those at the final part of the round. You get these four permanent cards over here. One, you basically you're depositing. I'll put these three out first. You're depositing cards in here. Ends a turn, spending resources that you have to at least get like check the box on points. I probably read the rules wrong. I'll be honest. I checked the box for whatever I deposited up to. So I was able to deposit 14 coins at once. So I just checked the box all the way up to 14. Um, I assume that's wrong. But then again, like, could it be? Because with drawing two cards to add to the base deck, right? The game like really starts around the cards in the mid 20s. You don't really have that many resources. So you don't do you even have 17 turns, of rounds, I should say? Probably not, right? So I assume that maybe this is intended for expansions will help you get to that point. I chose to play it this way because I'm probably not going to do the expansions. It's pretty nifty. Maybe I'll come back and refresh it. The expansions require you to purge cards. That gives me, again, with the permanence considerations, that gives me a little bit of anxiety. But maybe I'll play this through, come back to it, and say, you know what, I will purge cards and I will expand upon it because the expansions make it that much worth it. If I did, I probably would just buy a whole new copy of the game and start from scratch, now knowing way more than I knew the first time. I do want to note I did play through it the first time till the point where it became permanent, and I did reset because I understood understanding the mechanics are definitely something that is very important. So I do want to note that I would recommend that. Like if anyone plays this game, I would recommend that you go through and you th- play willy nilly, just have fun, get a feel for the game, and then when you get to the point where it tells you to stop after this point, it gets permanent. Do you want to restart? Restart. Uh, World of difference. I took a much different approach with my upgrades that were more thoughtful because there's like stickers you start adding at that exact point, and the rules of the game essentially make it so that you should be very thoughtful about stickers. If you upgrade a card later on, you lose a benefit. So I was pretty thoughtful about that approach. And last cards, the export one, you'll see that I'm not using a good marker here. I'm using a it's already smudged. I'm using a felt tip, which was not a good idea because it's a little bit whatever. I'm up to 82. I'm not going to get 18 more, so I'm not going to get the 100. But this is my favorite feature. The idea that of upgrading and customizing the cards, I think, was excellent. It makes certain cards very powerful, very dynamic. I was trying to be thoughtful about essentially making like a killer card that would apply to many situations. So you'll see later on that I knighted an alchemist who makes potions because the potion facet, you can kind of reset the card and not lose a turn, and you get a benefit from it. All right. With my terrible setup, we are going to go through the final round and talk this out. And you'll see as I go through it what my thoughts were for each card. I'll try and make this as legible as possible, mindful that it's not going to be. All right, you can see my killer card. In fact, I had this this alchemist set up with fame. He's going to end up on that point because this is not a brown border, which means you can play the action, rotate to it, and spend the card, and it'll revert back and reset, and then he's still it's going to be usable. You know, in 2 round scenarios. For him, he's done though, right? Like if I spend him now, it's the last round. That's the other thing too, right? You have to think about the round value, um, which is to say that if you upgrade a card, you make a change to a card, you can't use it truly in that format until the next card. So you discover a card, it goes into the discard pile. You upgrade a card, it goes into the discard pile. That does make pressure on your decision points for these things. So that was just one aspect here. Yeah, for this one, I know, like, I'm going to discover something. I'm not even going to be able to use it. So it's the last round. That's a little bit of a pain point that I had again, but I had this person upgraded. I'm pretty sure that this is, the final, the second chance. So I will cross off an X. I did not use my inventor to her maximum. I'm going to discard her and draw one of whatever's left of 78, 79. I'm not 97, 98, or 99. That's probably one of the more fun things about this game is, looking through the deck and making a choice. Like I'm going to discover an invention. Some of the inventions are bad. Like, I have a choice right now. I'm about to get an invention, right? So do I want to choose the one that's going to result in me getting fame, but I'm not going to be able to use anything again, right? Or am I going to do the one that is punishment, but if I had time to upgrade it, you can actually get to a state where the card is nuts. Post-barbaric state. You have to go through heck to get to a peaceful state. That's good in a kingdom with time. This kingdom does not, so I will be obvious and choose the card. Because again, I can't use the card till the next round. This won't come up until I play an expansion. Um, so it is what it is, right? I'm just not going to benefit from these discovered cards. I'm just going to put this back in the box. Okay. Now, advancing is something that I did avoid as much as possible. Because in my opinion, advancing, you lose turns, you lose gameplay, you lose rounds. You're not going to be able to maximize as much as possible. So that was certainly something that I was very thoughtful of here. And none of these cards are upgradable at this point. So um, I'm at a point in the game where I actually have no choice but to advance. There's no point in me doing anything with my alchemist. I want to get his fame. So I'm just going to keep on stacking on top with advancing two, and I'm going to see that I still can't do anything, right? Like I would love to you know turn this keep into a castle. That's I guess it's possible if I just go all in right now. If I were to just go insane and just dump cards out here, maybe I can get to that point. See, I saw the trade goods, so I had to maximize on that one. What do we need? We need wood, and we have none of it, right? We need two wood, six stone. That's impossible. Nothing I can upgrade. So at this point, I can play one land or building from a discard pile. I've got none for the keep, so I can't benefit from that. The mine is a possibility for me to go for if I can find three more wood. I am going to, when you advance, you lose. These are complicated rules, right? Like advance, you lose any resources you took. Okay, so then I can't take this and hold it on the side. If I discard it, I got to upgrade the card, essentially immediately. So we'll get ourselves up to 85 exports in total. Nowhere near 15. I need more on top of that, and we'll just keep advancing. We'll just keep doing two more. Quarry, I'm getting a little bit closer on the rock perspective if I wanted to do the keep, but it's not happening, right? We're not getting anywhere closer. Throw another festival in there. Running out of space here, but I'm essentially, again, I'm at the end of the round, so I'm just going to end up going in. I got exotic fruit trees over here, so I'm just going to do another two more. Hopefully, I don't need any trade resources for anything internally. I had a person who was sick because a plague hit, but I used trade goods to get medicine. I guess that's the plot idea. So that's cool by me. Am I anywhere closer to the keep? Three stone. I need six stone. Um, just keep advancing, baby. What are we doing? Why not? Just keep advancing. Just two more at a time. Wall stays in play. Choose one card in play or the discard pile and put it at the bottom of the deck. If I was, you know, uh, a schlub, I could totally put one of those fashions to get three trade goods and try to get closer to that. But I want to just think about what I'm doing first off. Um, let's see. So wood, wood, metal, rock, rock, rock. One, two, three. Three rocks. It's impossible. I'm at a point where it's impossible to upgrade absolutely anything. I'm going all in on this one. This is going to be hysterical. Alrighty. I can upgrade a card and play with the Cardinal, and it won't end the turn. So we're going to put you to the side. You are going to be used. Rocky area gets me two. We have to have it, right? We have to have 6 rocks in total. We gotta. Okay. All right. So the alchemist has a coin. We got 2 rock. We got 2 rocks. All right. We got the rock, 3 rocks, and an ore. 5 rocks and an ore. Yeah. So we got 5 rocks, no wood. We need 2 wood. Got the ore we need. This has 2 coin and a wood. I really could save the alchemist. Decide what I'll do with that later on. Save the alchemist. Use the coin from there to get the 2 stone. Then we're short a stone and a wood. Here's where the interplay of the game comes in, right? Like, so I essentially have, yeah, a merchant and a festival that I could spend at this time, right? So I could use like the wood from here and take a stone from here, cross it off. And then this allows me to spend these, get these out of here. It allows me to upgrade the keep. I can't benefit from playing a card from the discard pile, but I get the fame boost. That's cool. So I spend that, and I'm gonna spend this again. Spend this now, not again, so that I can say, hey, at least I can upgrade this card, this keep, and not end my turn. So let's see where we are now. So now we got the cards that are left out because we did the upgrade without spending it. And here's where I'm at. I'm at a point where the only thing I can do is I can probably upgrade this scribe if I were to do so. I don't get any benefit. I've already maxed out the architect. It seems like a waste of money. Um, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep these guys. I'm just ordering this for my sanity. Keep these guys up top. And then technically turns that over because I used the cardinal. I could actually keep going and advance further. So we will. We'll keep advancing. 2 trade goods and a coin. Cross out 1 resource icon in an upgrade cost in play. I have nothing in play that I can upgrade. So that's great. I'm getting close. I did as much as I could. So I'll drop another card. I'll advance more, set you 2 walls. I'm just going to stack them for peace of mind. And then we get the scribe's not going to be used. I'm not going to upgrade it for no point. It's nothing to help me with. So I'll drop it on top. And if could I even do this if I so wished? No, I can't. So I should have probably chose the back side of this card. Destroy negative card in play. Too bad. I didn't do it. Well, we'll keep advancing. Look, we got another wall. I went all in on swords, and part of that became, me going all in um, on walls, which is fine by me. And then, it's to finish the advance. I got this guy, the field worker, to double up on a resource. And I still, again, I've got nothing. I got nothing going on here. So why not? Why not keep advancing? I got Sir Chud. Sir Chad's in there as well. Got my food barn over here. We're just gonna keep advancing until we can't. Okay. Food barn stays in play. Thunderstorm. When you play, discard the next 3 cards of your hand and flip it over. Then everyone gets double resource. This is a big pain in the ass that you can't dump that card unless you have like a lighthouse to watch out for a thunderstorm, and then you just that's the top of your deck. But just to showcase, we're not going to get any benefit out of our squire. We are not going to get a benefit from Sir Chad, who stays in play or would have stayed in play, and then we're missing out on a wall. Right. I also can't play any more cards, so I can't advance any further. So then whatever I've got here is what I'm going to be able to have. Right. So I am forced to clean up a mess. And I'm essentially going to say, because I can't do anything from an upgrade perspective, I am just going to play off of what I have. And let's just see here. So I'm going to treat this as if I'm ending the turn. This knight, it gives me no benefit. This stays in play. This stays in play. The Alchemist is going to be coming out. Um, these all stay in play, so these are going to stay. Double wall stays in play. Can't upgrade you. Here's the thing. Like at this point, what do you do? Well, do I have any land that's even worth doubling up? No, the field worker is useless, right? Because this turn's probably coming to an end. So field worker is useless. If I double up on this guy, because it's the thunderstorm, right? Resources are doubled. I'll get 4 trade goods and 2 coin. None of it helps me. I'm looking at the scribe, discard to make 2 other cards stay in play, so I could think about that, and I probably will. Right, so I'm going to spend this. It's 4 trade goods because it's doubled. Tough to read that. No clue how close I am, but it's thrown out. Otherwise, we have stays and plays cards, stay and play cards. I'm going to discard you to keep 2 people in play. I'm going to keep the royal visit in play. And there's no chance I'm going to upgrade this thing. So I'm just going to throw that person out. I'll keep the knight, even though he'd go away, and call it a day there. Everything else is a stay and play. By the time you get to the end of the game, you get a whole ton of it, right? So this is essentially now a new turn. So I'm going to draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so there's our lighthouse, which is nice. But unfortunately, I think I have nothing left to get rid of here. So that's the only bad part about that. I'm trying to fix this camera here. Okay. So what is even upgradable, right? Nothing. Nothing. This guy, that's fully Stonebridge is fully upgraded. I think I could do something with that in the expansions. I didn't max the explorers, but I took what I thought was necessary. 4 wood, 2 stone. There's nothing here that helps me. Right. So we're gonna keep advancing. Got a ton of money, but I can't spend it, right? All right. Stays in play, gain any 1 resource, and then you flip it. And then you put 3 cards at the top of your deck. Again, there's nothing that I can do here. Uh yeah, that is gonna happen a lot. So let's keep advancing. All right, like this statue's been here forever, man. I just don't even know what to do with it. It's too much to invest in. I unlocked it with one of the building cards, but it's too much, you know. And you get to this point of the game, and it's like for me to do anything, it's a cost benefit, right? So I'm going to discard 2 persons. I'm going to, so I'm going to upgrade this card. Um, I am going to do. There's the 2 wood. I only need 1 coin. Those stay in place, so I'm going to keep those here. You stay in play. You stay in play. This I didn't even end up using, you know, but I'm gonna have to lose it. But I upgraded this card. When played, discover a pirate. I guess that'll happen in the expansion. The rest stay up top. You two go away. New set of 4, young forest. It's not going to get upgraded. Alrighty. Finishing touch. Add stickers. This is one of the best parts of the game is the whole sticker thing, right? Like add stickers to a friendly card in play. Okay, so 10, sticker 10 is 5 fame points. I could put 5 fame points on, absolutely anything. I think that stacking on 5 fame points to a card that I know that I will never lose is the right idea. And 6 is trade goods. And this has been my little friend. This exotic fruit tree has always been dependable. So I will upgrade that. And this card is destroyed. So I'm not ripping them up. I'm putting them in the back of the box for the memories. But I will spend that on there. So it's like a 43 or 44. I need six more trade goods to get to 100. Uh, it's not happening, right? So it's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 94. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. That's okay. Discover a border, mark and add a thing, but you'll get nothing for it. Um, Nothing doing, you know, nothing doing. Advance, right? I forget the names of all these people because they got a little wiped. Anyway, so got another knight out here. Got this person I would love to upgrade. I got tons of swords. I got nothing to do with it. I got a ton of money. Oh my god, so much money. I do actually have bar and bar, rock. I would need two rocks, but I don't have a third rock, and that's painful. If I upgrade this, I get absolutely nothing at this point. I don't have the two wood to upgrade the church. So, when in doubt, advance. This manor I've been losing resources on. I've been abusing it pretty harshly. Um, because it's so easy to do. It's so easy to just spend it. Um, when in doubt, advance. At this point of the game, you gotta. All right, so I think I have the resources that I need to upgrade this guy. Not that it'll help me. And this has two trade goods, so I'll cross you, and I only need four more to go. It has two iron and a rock. I just need two rocks. Discard this for a rock. Discard this for a rock. And this card can finally be upgraded. At least I get a little bit extra here. So this turn's going to be over. But what I'm going to do is I am going to just clean this up and do a couple things that would have been permissible during the turn. So these guys are out. These guys are out. These guys are out. This guy is out. These are all stays in play. Stay in play. This is just money law. Well, this stays in play, I guess, right? So I don't have to cross this off just yet. Maybe we'll just save this off. So, all right. So we got all over tons of walls. This is a fortified city. Tons of walls. We're going to keep this here. Got to make sure I check something off before the game ends so I get an extra little boost of fame, get a little two more fame in there. But we essentially have our the titans of the deck going on there. So we're good to take a step forward. So, four cards. Storage, probably my most hated but useful card. Stays in play. I'll move it up there. I did get the princess upgraded ASAP when I saw her out there. I felt like I had to do some things that you only had like a turn to do. I only had like one turn to get this, so I made sure I dumped it. Getting one resource is nice. Discard to keep four cards in play was also nice. But again, you get some of these cards late that it doesn't truly help you. So the question is like, how would I upgrade this card if I ever even wanted to, right? If I had to do it to the windmill, you get four coins. That's cool. I have so many walls that is probably illogical to do so. Um, and I can't even get to that point, right? So the only upgrade that can get me that gets me points or fame is going to be that one. So the question is, can I find three rocks anywhere? The answer is going to be no. It's not. It's not even. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one. Oops. Can I get two stones and three wood? And I can't. So I'm trying really hard not to just nonstop advancing, but we're at the end of the game. All right. Lord Athan, you gotta love these AI images, right? So I think here's the way in which I can do some sort of upgrade to at least get some fame out of this card. And that's gonna be with the dude and with these guys. So these two cards would be two rocks. This card, well, let me stay in play. I gotta use it, right? He's got a rock, he's got a wood, he's got two woods, there's three woods, and it's hidden in there somewhere. So we're gonna cross them out, spend those, and upgrade this card, flipping it over, windmill for fame. That's the best that I can do. Then it's just a question of this. It's like, my turn's technically over. The temple's gone. See, no use for it. Uh, why make it? Why keep it? I would discard that card to keep this card, and or keep the opportunity cost of keeping the storage. Very tough decisions to make. But we're dumping it because we're at the last hand. So here we go. All this detail, right? All these walls. Stone Street, I already did that. You already maxed out. This already stays in play. So then it's just the question is like the last thing I can do. Can I get this guy? Well, do I want to discover the ally or get a bonus upgrade? I won't be able to benefit from the consort. So the question is, did I already get that? And if I did, we definitely upgrade. If I didn't, we see if it gives fame. All right, I did not discover an ally. That would be the ally, -5. That does not sound good. Queen Jemima. Okay. Uh, that's what it says. Um, well, discard with a person with five or more. Discard one person with five or more fame to claim fame. So we're not doing that. Ain't happening. If this was an expansion, I would think about it, but I'm going here for the fame. So the question is, do I have 6 coins? 2, 4, 5, 6. I do actually. I do have 6. So it's not for nothing. We are able to get rid of these Old Farm food barns, spend 6 coin, take the upgrade, and that is, nope, we're doing you. Remember, you got to get you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever. I'll cross off a sword. So there we go. That is the game. And that is now to come to the matter of actually counting up the points. Very stressful keeping the cards in order. Positioning of the cards is like extremely important, which is crazy. But it makes sense, right? But it's very tough. Like this would be a game that would be excellent, um, on a mobile app, something along those lines. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through. We're going to start tallying up the points that we have here. Okay, and we'll see what we have from a fame perspective. We'll start with the easy things. So I did 14 coins at once. I'm going to give myself 150 plus 20 points, 70. I'm totally thinking I messed this up and that should have been it. The iterations between, right? So I did iterations where I did like 3 and then I did 6 and I was able to dump it all at once, right? That's probably wrong. And I apologize profusely for that. This card, I did not get anything because I did not get to 100. I tried. I actually was very thoughtful about that and I tried. This card, I only got up to 9, spent it once, so that is 40 points. The tower card, I got this super late, and I just didn't. I was like, why am I going to waste my time dumping stone here? You could just build a giant tower. I mean, that is definitely something that Sounds hysterical. Imagining if you have a whole kingdom and you're like, hey guys, I hate all of you, and you're all going to just build me a giant tower to worship me. That's this card. I did not do that. Six. That's fine. Still don't know what you do, but he gave me 10. Worth 25 fame if your production of trade goods per turn is 8 or more. Per round is 8 or more. So let's do this fair. We are going to not assume. I'm cycling through the deck right now for any and all trade goods that are available to me. There's 2. There's 5. There's 7. There's 9. There's 12. So that is success. So that says 25 if your production is more. So we got that. That's a check the box. All right, you want 70 or more cards in your kingdom, not counting the permanent cards, which are all out and above. This is worth -2 for each card missing from 70. No stress. All right, so permanent cards are out. We're doing this. So that's 40. 58. I would have swore. I could have swore that I had 70 and I was doing the best I could to get everything that I could. Not counting permanent cards, that is pissing me off. So I'm getting 58. So it's 12 off. So it's minus 24 points. I'm just gonna double check because I'm angry. Right? I was trying real hard here. So one, two, three. Nope, hold on. 58. It's a minus 24. Man, what did I miss out on? Could I have gone for? Worth -1 per card with exactly 0 fame. Isn't that most cards? Don't most cards have 0 fame? Sounds terrible. All right, well, this is just a can force you to upgrade as much as possible, huh? All right, that was not good. All right, here we go though. Well, we got the sorts. We got sorts, so we're gonna sort it up now. And boy, do we got sorts. So we got 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I went all in on that. I was like, no, 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 no. Plus, I was also terribly afraid. So 20, terribly afraid of the bandits and then the big knights. And boy, because and that was one thing, like, I feel like eh, are some strategies better? You can't know without playing the game multiple times. But I do think that, one of the benefits of swords specifically is that I was able to thwart every witch, every knight that came up to me easy because I had so many walls. You saw my wall technique there. All right, so we have our baseline here. Now it's going to be specifically just cards that have their specific fame features in play. Right, so I got a 5 over here. I'll do the walls last. That's 10. Start stacking walls. Put some fame cards here. Man, we got a lot to think about here. I do have a lot of cards with fame. I know I just said that there's a lot that does the castle count as a wall? Worth 4 for each wall. It was a keep, so I guess it doesn't, right? We got more walls. Treasury. No fame, no fame, no fame, no fame, no fame, no fame. Got an 8. Nothing from you, nothing from you. We got some lands with fame. Just getting all my fame cards out here. With some space off to the side just to see where this all goes. Oh, that's good. Got that one out there. Get that one out there. These all have fame. These are all famey. Some of these are just straight up stacks, though, nothing that interplays. So we're going to put those, start adding them up in a second. Just getting the non-fame cards out of the way. Okay. All right, we're going to start with the walls just because that's the easiest thing to compute. This is worth 4 for each wall, including this card that is in play. So, including this. So this is 5 plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 20. That's 25 points plus the threes. 25 is 6, 12, 37, right? 25, 28, 31, 34. So this is 37 points on this set. Put that out to the side because we have it counted now. Okay. Then we'll start looking at these. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 20. There's our next set of 20. Two per X. 2, 4, 6, 8. Adding up. 8, 16, 28. 28 for the next set. 10, 12, 16, 21, spin all my other cards off to the other side so I don't look at them or count them twice. This is 10, 3, 5, 10, 23, 25, 29, 42. That's a big one. 46, 50, 60, 64, 67, 72, 75, 80, 85, 88, 91, 95, 102. I'm just going to write that down so I don't go crazy. That's out. We'll move this out. And plus 19. Okay. So there we have the cards and the tally. So let's get a little calculator out to wrap this up. 70 plus 40 plus 6 plus 10 plus 25 minus 24 plus 40 plus 37 plus 20 plus 8 plus 28 plus 21 plus 10 plus 102 was a big one plus 19. That batch was all the extra cards. That equals 412. It doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. I was looking online and I was seeing people like the first time playing was like 150 to 200. And then people who played for a few times were like 300 to 400 in their first round. So I'm assuming I made some errors up here, right? Counting these. So if I were to like adjust this for stupidity based on these, it's probably more realistic that I contributed the army for like 10, right? And then the coins, not the extended treasury. The coins is probably like another 10, right? So if I were to like adjust this for inflation, we're saying 30, we're saying 60, which is 90. So it's probably more realistic. This is like, 322. Like if I were to give myself like a here's what I'll tell my friends type thing, this is probably like a 322, which it looks like is pretty good, from what I saw, like a decent understanding of the game. Um, Again, the strategy being the min max, uh, avoiding advances wherever possible. Swords kind of carry your ass or your butt when it comes time to think about the the problems that are going to arise. Did that maybe hurt me thinking out loud, right? Like, like I didn't have 70 cards because, I didn't explore as much as I could. I didn't convert anybody. I didn't do missionaries. I didn't have time. I didn't feel like I had time to become like a priestly class of a kingdom. I didn't have time to get to that. Um, and again, I wish I knew what some of those artifacts did. Maybe I'll look through the cards that I have, and at the end, and I'll take a look and see like what I didn't use, and rethink about this. Like, would I recommend this to a friend? Is 100%. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome. I thought it'd be great as a video game with replayability, and like the stat tracking, the resource tracking. Also for rules enforcement. One of the things with card games or board games is self-discipline for rules enforcement to make sure that you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing at all times. And they give you a nice little rule book, and the rule book is cool. It's very detailed, but at the same time, I found myself, especially early, having to refer to it a ton um, for what that would be and what it would, what things meant and when do things activate. I wish that there was an ability for discovered cards to be in play immediately, like just put them at the bottom of the deck and not the discard pile, because the time for upgrade and then to throw away a card, which ends a turn as well. It's tough to get the cards in your hand and get them activated. So I think that would be my critique or my criticism over that. But otherwise, this is fun. I liked it. I would play it again. Actually, would play this like a once a year type thing, or maybe wait a few weeks, a few months, and then say, okay, let's look at the expansion. Looked at the expansion. Expansion looks cool. It's pretty pretty nifty here. Yeah, I did open it up just to look at it, but Feudal Kingdom Adventures, they got some other ones over there too. Pretty nifty. Um, Definitely enjoyed. Definitely would play it again. Probably would space it out. Would like to see this converted to electronics for replayability, right? The ability to make this like a rogue light situation, I think, is would be awesome. All right, that's my reviews and my thoughts. I hope this audio came out all right. The video I know was bad because I don't have a formal webcam, but documented for reference. Thanks all.